Hi everyone, welcome to an amazing event today. I'm really excited to share with you 5 steps to your dream ADU. Plus I've got some special tools and bonuses for you guys at the end. So let's jump into it. Okay, so at Maxable, we've helped a lot of homeowners with ADU projects. And so after having talked to literally thousands of homeowners that want to do this, we've noticed that people tend to kind of trip up and get confused in the same specific spots. So today I want to give you guys this 5 actionable tips that you can use to help you run and manage your project smoother. Okay, so number 1 is set your goals. Now you might be thinking, Caitlin, come on, this seems pretty straightforward. Like I know I need to set goals, but here's the thing. You're gonna have to make 1,001 decisions in this process and you're gonna get decision fatigue. And so the clearer you can define your goals at the beginning, the more it's gonna help you understand, should I splurge for that expensive tile or should I keep it kind of Home Depot standard? So think about things like, what is your short-term and long-term goals for the unit? You know, what's your budget? What are the 3 most important features that you care about? Like if you can't have everything, what are the 3 you don't want to compromise on? And that'll help you start to understand and create a scope around your project. Let's talk about budget. This is probably people's number 1 question is, how much is this going to cost me? And so one of the websites I like is buildinganadu.com. Cole Peterson is a great resource for people. And he put together a spreadsheet that has 50 different ADU projects and all the budgets for those projects. Now, here's the caveat is that they are all Portland projects and Portland is not as expensive to build in as California. So, you know, you have to factor that in when you're looking at it, but I think it'll be an enlightening tool for you guys to check out. So here what he did is he put the type of project, the cost, the size of the unit, and then the cost per square foot numbers. Now, looking at this, you guys might be noticing something on those cost per square foot numbers, right? Is they vary dramatically. We have everything here from $160 a square foot to $680 a square foot. And so cost per square foot numbers are really deceiving, and I generally don't like to use them when advising people on what their project is going to cost because there's so many individual variables on a site. And so one of the things to think about is, well, what are the variables that make my project more expensive? What are the variables that make my project less expensive? And then how can I balance some of those things out? So I'm not going to go through this whole list because we don't have a ton of time, but there are a few things you can really do to leverage and make your project less expensive. And I think the biggest thing on this entire list is value engineering. As a design firm at Maxable, we care a lot about making sure that what we're designing is very cost effective to build. And there are things you can do in the design process like consolidating the wet wall, paying attention to the floor plan, you know, going all electric, factoring that into your Title 24s that can actually make your project cheaper to build, which is, you know, something we're all looking for, right? Okay, tip number 3 is know the legislation. Now, as a homeowner, it's not your job to know all of the building code and every little minutia of this legislation because it's complicated and it changes quickly, but there are a few big things you should know. So here's a summary of some of the bigger changes that we saw go into effect last year. Some of my favorites are multifamily. You can now build ADUs on any multifamily zone property. In a lot of cases, you can build multiple ADUs on these multi-family properties. So that's a huge, huge win for the industry and very exciting. So we have projects that we're doing where we're adding ADUs to duplexes, triplexes. We even have a 62 unit apartment complex that we're able to add some units to. So there's a lot of opportunity there for investors and for homeowners. I love that we got rid of the minimum lot size requirement. That was a big problem. And the 4-foot side and rear setbacks is great as well. Now, keep in mind, a jurisdiction can be more lenient than what the state mandates, but they can't be more restrictive. So we've seen San Diego, which is really kind of a paradigm for the ADU industry on how to pass progressive and great ordinances. They'll do things like, for example, allow you to build all the way to the lot line, which is fine. They can be, again, more progressive. They can't be more restrictive. Number 4 is financing. So I was talking to a client yesterday who applied for financing in mid-November and her financing just closed 2 days ago. So keep in mind that lending institutions, because of the rock bottom interest rates, are absolutely swamped and they're doing 25% more business than they've likely ever done in the history of their company, okay? So it's gonna take you longer to get the financing than you think, So you should start on it early because everything kind of waterfalls from the financing. If you think you can build a 1,200 square foot ADU and you only get approved for $150,000, like, that's not going to happen unless you're building a lot of it yourself. So that's my pro tip, is to start early. Obviously, there's a variety of different financing ways that you can do this: HELOC, cash out refi, renovation loan, and I see families pool assets together to do this as well. Okay, final tip before I get to you guys some bonuses. My final tip is find some inspiration. Look around. We have an Instagram where we curate tons of projects that we're working on, as well as projects that we love that other designers and general contractors are designing and building. So it's a great place to, get some inspiration and honestly find some cool ideas that maybe you could implement for your project. So I want you to take a look at these different homeowners. These are all projects that we wrapped up recently. And I want you to think about, what if one of these units was in your backyard right now? What would you do with it? How would you feel? What value would that bring to you? And know that if they can do it, you can do it too. So in that vein, I wanted to give you guys, before I jump out, I wanted to give you guys some actual tools that you can use for your project. So first, we can send you the regulations cheat sheet. So that's a summary of all the new legislation that's in place. So if you forget something, you can use this. You can use it with clients. You can use it personally, however it's helpful to you. I want to send you a list of Maxable's preferred ADU lenders. So Loan Depot has been putting a lot of work into this event. They're a great resource. And we've got other people too that we can help connect you to. If you want a complete list of vetted lenders, let us know and we'll send that over to you. 3 is access to our private Facebook group. So if you want real inspiration, project cost breakdowns, you want to discuss your project with like-minded people, that's a great community that we're building there. And so if you want these bonuses, we're going to make them available till the end of the day, or till the end of the event, I'm sorry. And we're going to put the form that you need to sign up in the little chat. So if you want those bonuses, click that form, put in your email address, and we'll get everything sent to you by the end of the day. Okay? All right, everyone, good luck with your project. If you want to ask me more questions or connect with me, I'm going to be in the Maxable booth. I'd be happy to talk to you about your project.